Tyler Michael DeFreitas Cleveland Adolfo the third. People call me Mike. If you're new here, I react to George Carlin videos quite a lot, although I haven't in a while. Today, I'm going to be doing the religion one by George Carlin. Big fan of George Carlin. Let's just get right with it, though. All right, let's see.
But in the bullshit department, a businessman can't hold a candle to a clergyman. Because I got to tell you the truth, folks.
They might be one and the same if you ask some people.
Truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time.
Indeed. You know, that is the message advanced by many so-called self-proclaimed Christians. I'm not passing judgment on any particular one, by the way. I mean, okay, maybe I am a little bit. It's interesting to me how a lot of people will like cherry pick certain elements of scripture and then like the ones that align with what they want to believe to be true and then purposefully leave out elements that are not. Now, me, myself, I'll be honest, I have not read the entire thing. I'm someone who has reverence and respect for people from all backgrounds, regardless of their race, gender, creed, what have you. I treat everyone with dignity and respect, and if they don't have the same beliefs as I do, I don't persecute them. I'm someone who says that there's atheists who are more Christian than Christians. I don't know why so many Christians despise what they proclaim to believe true, to be true. But I'm someone who's always believed in the sense that there's a higher power. I don't deny evolution. I believe in evolution as well. I don't see these two as mutually exclusive. And for anyone ever interested in having a further conversation with me on that, I'd be happy to discuss that. But yeah, I'm someone who believes in the existence of a higher power, and I'm personally trying to apply to join the Catholic Church. I don't think George Carlin would be happy about that, but I don't think he'd be mad about it either. I think like a lot of his reservations have to do with people who think they're better than others because of what institution they're associated with, and I think that's an important distinction to make. Is that George Carlin was a very logical, reasonable person. Everything he says was logical and reasonable. And anyone, regardless of which sector of society you come from, what your religion is, you have to acknowledge that.
But he loves you.
You're going to hell for who you are, but he loves you.
He loves you, and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all
I haven't paid a tithe ever in my life.
Powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just
the rapture is coming. Give me your money, or you're going to hell. That's another thing a lot of people are doing. There's literally a church in my town preaching that the rapture is happening before the end of this year, which is interesting to do. Like if you want to have the point of like, oh, we have to follow the Bible. The Bible says that nobody knows but God. So on the one hand, like you God-fearing Christians who are preaching this message to people who they might have good intentions. I would say most people have good intentions. That's an Enlightenment concept. But that they're the product, they're influenced by the institutions around them, the circumstances around them. So when you're in poverty and there's politicians who don't care about you, and you had a bad traumatic life, it can cause you to become things that you're not. Like no baby's born racist. But if they're taught from an age that people are different from them and they see people treated differently because of the color of their skin or their sexual orientation, then they could easily adopt those beliefs. And I think it's very similar happening within a lot of Christian churches, not all of them, but Christianity particularly, because I've spoken to rabbis, I've gone to synagogues, I've gone to mosque services, and they're not preaching this fire and brimstone message. But there's a lot of Christian churches that have been doing that all throughout history.
Can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars, they pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now, you talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit. Thank you. But, thank you very much. But I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know, when it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really tried. I tried to.
I absolutely 100% believe that. George Carlin is an honest person. It's important to understand that. He's not someone who would have the beliefs that he does, that like just like in jest or for reasons like politicians. There's so many politicians who they'll make political calculations of like, oh my, what was me? I have to believe in this because if I don't, I'm not electable. Um, George Carlin, as we all know, he didn't give a fuck what people thought of him, whether they were on the so-called left or the so-called right. Me, I like to form opinions on like an issue by issue basis, do research, and I know for a fact that George Carlin did that too, and he says that he's 100% honest. For anyone to question his intentions, I know there's people who believe in God who are also big fans of George Carlin, and they don't take it personal and get insulted because literally the big message of George Carlin is that, uh, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. You know how many people in this country who would benefit from a message like that? They get their feelings hurt. They'll take something out of context that someone says and then blow it up. It happens to me all the time. Um, but yeah, I believe him that he did try to like figure out for himself whether or not God, and he decided not to. Someone that I respect a lot, Christopher Hitchens. He's another person who I would say is he practices like the wisdom, the idea of loving thy neighbor, and like um, not making rushes to judgment. Then many of these so-called Christians they do it all the time. And when I say that, I'm not saying all. Vast majority, overwhelming. I'm not going to assign an exact number because then people could hold me to it, and someday Fox News will clip it and say, "Here's him saying all Christians are this." Uh, looking forward to the day.
I believe that there is a God who created each of us in his own image and likeness, loves us very much, and keeps a close eye on things. I really tried to believe that, but I gotta tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is fucked up. Something is wrong here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice-capades. Something is
Religious or not, I think we can all agree people suck.
definitely wrong. This is not good work. If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed. Results like these do not belong on the resume of a supreme being. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude. And just between you and me, in any decently run universe, this guy would have been out on his all-powerful ass a long time ago. By the way, I say this guy because I firmly believe, looking at these results, that if there is a God, it has to be a man. No woman.
It must be. Women have higher emotional intelligence on average. Do not take that out of context, Fox News. Women are more intelligent than men on average. Don't take that out of context, Fox News, or anybody for that matter. That's just like reality. They have everyone I think is good intention at heart. It goes back to like people aren't born racist. It's funny how a child understands the stupidity of racism, that people should be treated the same. That's actually what God's golden rule is that people should be treated the same. Don't treat others the way you don't want to be treated. I remember Ron Paul in one of the Republican debates went on stage and he was talking about in the sense because like all these guys were like, oh, we have to go after Iran. They're fear mongering about Iran. Iran's going to do this. Iran's going to do that. And I get their leadership aren't perfect, but no, they're like their leadership is like horrible. But at the end of the day, like what they were talking about was like going to war. And like me, I'm not an isolationist, but I believe war should be a last resort. And Ron Paul says we should treat others the way we want to be treated, and the entire audience of like God-fearing Christian men boo him. So yeah, I don't know. What do you want to say about that? I mean, it's quite interesting to me. Very interesting. We'll do this as part one. I gotta finish the rest of the video because I know I paused a lot. I am gonna finish it. I'll probably do this in 3 chunks. So I'm actually grinding doing academics right now as well. I'm not one of those bozos who puts anything else above academics. That's my job, so I could have a future, so I could understand civics and make good decisions hopefully, And all my beliefs are subject to change. I'm an open-minded person. Um, Me personally, I've always believed in God, but I've entered it behind a veil of ignorance, open to the possibility that there is not one, and that is still always the case. If someone has a strong argument, I'm always willing to change. I don't judge atheists differently. There's atheists who are very good people who I have no doubt do so much good in this world, more than self-proclaimed Christians do, and so forth. If I ever saw 10 self-proclaimed Christians beating up an atheist, I don't know how to fight, but I would step in and help the atheist if that atheist did nothing wrong. Um, and that's how I would sleep at night. And if something happened to me, so be it, because I'm someone who believes that I'll have salvation anyhow. And besides, life kind of sucks. So if I had to go out on a bang of trying to defend, that'd be a headline: Christian killed after defending atheist from mob of 10 Christians. That would be quite something. But yeah, that's part one. I'm sorry I rambled on. Um, get this tax consultant coffee. I'm going to finish up. We'll get a part two up later. I'll check in later. I have a couple lectures I have to watch. I hope you're all having a good day. If you're religious, God bless. If not, I hope that you're having a great time. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, what have you. Yes, that's it.